Have you ever experienced this on the highway? You're cruising along normally when the exact same model of car effortlessly glides past you. You step on the gas, only to hear a muffled clunk from the engine, and your car completely fails to accelerate. Or maybe, every time you take your car in for its annual inspection, the technician pulls it into the bay, comes back out looking completely indifferent, and tells you, "Your engine is showing pretty heavy wear. I'd recommend a major overhaul." Then, they hand you a quote ranging anywhere from $3,000 to $8,000. You stare at those numbers, wondering to yourself, this car only has 150,000 miles on it, the body is in great shape, and has never had any major mechanical issues. So why is this happening? Actually, it's not your fault. The problem is that you've been fed a flawed maintenance logic right from the very beginning. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jared Min. Every day, I'm here exposing the everyday secrets they don't want you to know. In Munich, Germany, there's a taxi with nearly 1.44 million kilometers on the odometer, and its engine has never been torn down for a major overhaul. The driver didn't use any astronomically priced motor oil, never bought any patented miracle lube, and certainly didn't follow the factory manual's maintenance schedule. He simply stuck to 3 basic rules that the vast majority of car owners completely ignore. Have you ever paid attention to what used motor oil actually looks like when it's drained from a car after a long period of use? While waiting at an auto repair shop, I watched a technician unscrew the oil pan's drain plug with my own eyes. What flowed out didn't look like a liquid at all. It was a lifeless, pitch-black sludge, gleaming with a reflection of metallic particles, so thick it clumped as it hit the floor. Lean in for a sniff, and the overpowering, burnt smell of carbonized deposits, mixed with the pungent stench of completely degraded base oil, is enough to make you instinctively recoil. What are those metallic particles? They are the shavings ground right off the inside of your engine. It is exactly these particles that, every time you turn the ignition, circulate endlessly through your engine along with the oil. They pass through the piston rings, camshafts, and bearings, grinding away at those precisely fitted metal surfaces over and over again. Many car owners believe engine wear is an unavoidable fate that comes with higher mileage. But in reality, the premature death of the vast majority of engines is caused by 3 entirely preventable mistakes. The first is known as cold start wear. After your car has been parked all night, all the oil drains back down into the oil pan at the bottom. When you start it up in the morning, the oil pump takes anywhere from 5 to 30 seconds to rebuild that oil pressure and push it back up to the camshaft and piston rings at the top. During that brief window, those precision metal parts are running completely dry. Data from the Society of Automotive Engineers shows that this single act of cold starting accounts for 60% to 75% of total engine wear over its entire lifespan. In other words, if you've been driving your car for 10 years, more than half of your engine's wear was caused by those few dozen seconds sitting right in your driveway. The second is thermal stress. An engine isn't made of just one type of metal. It's a combination of several different metal components working together. An aluminum cylinder head and a cast iron engine block expand at completely different rates when heated. Every time you finish a spirited drive, the internal temperature of the engine can soar to hundreds of degrees. If you park and immediately shut off the engine, the temperature drops rapidly. Because these different metals shrink at varying speeds, it creates massive stress and tearing forces at their junctions. You might not notice this tearing after just one instance, but after thousands of cycles of heating, rapid cooling, reheating, and rapid cooling again, microcracks slowly begin to accumulate inside the metal. These are exactly the kind of hairline cracks mechanics find along the edges of a cylinder head when they tear down an engine. They are virtually invisible to the naked eye, but that is exactly where coolant starts to seep and oil begins to burn. Many car owners assume burning oil is just normal aging, but more often than not, this is the real culprit behind it. The third is the chemical degradation of motor oil. Many people think motor oil's only job is lubrication, but modern oils actually contain a complex system of additives designed to protect your engine. The most critical of these is ZDDP, or Zinc Dialkyldithiophosphate, which is an incredibly potent anti-wear additive. The problem is that over the past 2 or 3 decades, in order to comply with increasingly strict emissions regulations, the ZDDP content in modern motor oils has been drastically slashed. That $10 or $15 quart of full synthetic oil you buy actually offers significantly weaker anti-wear protection than the oils from the 1970s and 80s. Making matters worse, as your mileage increases, the little bit of additive remaining in the oil is continuously depleted, and high temperatures accelerate the oxidative degradation of the base oil molecules. Scientific tests have proven that the point at which your motor oil's anti-wear protection collapses is much earlier than the oil change intervals most quick lube shops tell you to follow. In everyday life, the majority of car owners unconsciously trigger all three of these problems simultaneously every single day. Rushing out the door in the morning, you turn the ignition, immediately shift into gear, and hit the gas to speed off. After a long highway commute, home from work, you shut off the engine, lock the doors, and walk away the second the car comes to a stop. When it's time for an oil change, the guy at the quick lube shop says, "You can go 7,500 miles before your next change," and figuring you'll save some money, you drive it to the absolute limit before coming back in. Looked at in isolation, none of these actions seem like a big deal. But think about it. If you treat your engine this way, 365 days a year, what do you get when all that adds up? You get that Honda in the parking lot that starts rattling at 150,000 miles. You get that $5,000 major overhaul quote handed to you by the quick lube technician. You get to sit in the waiting area, scrolling through your phone, mentally calculating whether or not you should actually spend that money. What's even more infuriating is that when you go to a repair shop, they'll tell you, this is normal wear and tear. It just happens when the mileage gets up there. Go to a dealership and they'll say, just stick to the factory maintenance schedule. Go buy motor oil, and there are dozens of options on the shelf, with every single bottle promising ultimate protection, premium formula, or designed specifically for modern engines. No one tells you just how fatal those 30 seconds of cold starting really are. No one tells you what immediate shutdown after a spirited drive leaves behind in your engine. And no one tells you just how diluted the ZDDP in modern motor oils has become. Why? It's no earth-shattering conspiracy, it's just basic business logic. The auto body and repair industry in the United States is massive, and both cosmetic and mechanical repairs are major profit centers. A maintenance method that allows an engine to run an extra 200,000 to 300,000 miles saves money for the car owner, but it means lost revenue for the repair ecosystem. Standardized service procedures, insurance claim partnerships, and the profit chains of franchise shops are all built on one core premise. Cars will break, and cars need fixing. This method simply doesn't fit their business model, which is why no one goes out of their way to tell you about it. So, what exactly did that taxi driver in Munich do to make his car last so long? Honestly, it might sound a bit unbelievable when I say it, but you just need to do these three things and spend a few bucks while you're at it. Rule number 1. Let the engine idle for 90 seconds after a cold start. It's that simple. After turning the ignition, don't rush to shift into gear and take off. Let the engine idle for 90 seconds, giving the oil pump enough time to fully build up pressure and deliver lubricant to every metal surface that needs protection. For the first 3 to 5 minutes after you start driving, take it easy and avoid hard acceleration. This action is completely free and takes less than 2 extra minutes out of your day, yet what it prevents is the cold start wear that accounts for 60% to 75% of the engine's total lifespan wear. Many people believe that modern cars don't need to be warmed up. That statement is both true and false. It's true that modern fuel injection systems don't require the warm-up time that old carburetors did just to deliver fuel properly. However, the physical process of the oil pump building up pressure hasn't changed at all. Whether your car rolled off the assembly line in 1985 or 2025. Rule number 2. After a spirited drive or a long highway trip, let the engine idle for 2 minutes before shutting it off. After high-speed cruising or spirited driving, the internal temperature of your engine is blazing hot. If you kill the engine right away, the circulation of coolant and motor oil comes to an immediate halt. Massive amounts of heat become trapped in the turbocharger, bearings, and valves with nowhere to go, creating the exact scenario of rapidly compounding thermal stress we talked about earlier. By letting the car idle for just 2 minutes after parking, you allow the cooling system to keep doing its job, smoothly drawing away residual heat and letting the engine temperature drop evenly. This simple habit is also completely free, but it will save you from those microscopic hairline metal cracks that slowly tear an engine apart from the inside out. Rule number 3. Change your oil every 4,000 miles and add a small bottle of ZDDP additive. This interval is a bit shorter than what the factory recommends because, as we covered earlier, the anti-wear additives in your oil actually break down long before the quick lube shop says it's time for a change. By changing it every 4,000 miles, you guarantee that what's circulating through your engine is always fresh oil with plenty of protective power, not a degraded chemical waste fluid. You can easily pick up ZDDP additives at places like Home Depot, AutoZone, or right on Amazon for about $2 a bottle. Pour it in with every oil change to replenish the critical anti-wear protection that has been stripped out of modern motor oils. That's it. Just those 3 rules. Spending an extra $24 or so a year on ZDDP, shortening your oil change intervals just a bit, waiting an extra 90 seconds after firing up the engine, and giving it 2 extra minutes before shutting it down. When you add up the total cost of doing this, you're looking at less than $100 a year. Now, let's talk about how to buy ZDDP additives and the critical details you need to keep in mind when changing your oil. First, let's talk about ZDDP. Head over to AutoZone, O'Reilly, Advanced Auto Parts, or simply search ZDDP Oil Additive or Zinc Additive for engine oil right on Amazon. You'll find several brands, with Lucas, Driven Racing Oil, and RevX being among the most common. Prices range from a couple of bucks up to around $15, depending on the volume and the brand. When you buy it, flip the bottle over and check the ingredients list. Make sure the primary ingredients include zinc dialkyldithiophosphate, or clearly state ZDDP. Don't let the marketing fluff on the front label, like premium formula or ultimate protection, fool you. The ingredients list is the only thing that tells the truth. As for the dosage, follow the product instructions. Generally, you'll add 1 to 2 ounces per oil change. Do not overdo it. With engine oil additives, more is definitely not better. In fact, an excessive amount of ZDDP can actually overburden the catalytic converters in modern cars. Just stick to the instructions. Now, let's talk about the oil change itself. If you've always gone to quick lube shops, you might not have noticed one crucial detail. The oil they use isn't necessarily the best viscosity for your engine. Many quick lube places default to the cheapest conventional mineral oil, or they try to upsell you on higher margin upgrade packages. Before you go in for an oil change, pull out your owner's manual and confirm the factory recommended oil viscosity, like 5W30 or 0W20. Then, explicitly tell the shop what you want them to use, or simply buy the oil and do it yourself. Changing your own oil really isn't that hard. If you decide to go the DIY route, the tools you need are incredibly simple. Oil of the correct viscosity, an oil filter that matches your vehicle, a drain pan, and a socket wrench. The material cost is less than half of what a quick lube shop charges, plus you have total control over what oil goes in and whether the old oil is actually completely drained out. There's one detail many people overlook. After changing the oil, start the engine and let it idle for 2 to 3 minutes. Then, shut it off and wait another 5 minutes for the oil to settle back down before pulling the dipstick to check the level. A lot of people just drive off right after an oil change, resulting in an incorrect oil level. Either it was overfilled, or the old oil wasn't drained completely, both of which compromise lubrication. There's one more thing that needs special emphasis. If your car is turbocharged, you must be even stricter about letting it idle and cool down before shutting it off. Turbos spin at incredibly high speeds and operate at extreme temperatures. Allowing the oil to continue circulating and cooling the turbo after you park has a visible, undeniable impact on its lifespan. Many turbo owners find themselves frequently needing to replace their turbochargers, and while repair shops brush it off as normal wear and tear, a huge part of the reason actually boils down to poor parking habits. There's no magic to these 3 rules, nor are they some deliberately hidden secret. They are simply the most fundamental mechanical common sense, and you can find the underlying principles in any serious engineering textbook. It's just that in everyday life, no one is going to go out of their way to tell you this, because there's absolutely no commercial benefit in doing so. I'm also not going to promise you that following these steps will magically make your engine last a million miles. Every car has a different baseline, operates in different driving environments, and has a different maintenance history. No single method can offer that kind of ironclad guarantee. But what I can tell you is this. These 3 habits are currently the lowest cost, easiest to execute methods for engine protection that are backed by clear mechanical principles. Stick with them, and significantly pushing back the point where accelerated engine wear begins, allowing your car to safely cross that high mileage threshold, is an entirely realistic expectation. For those older cars that have already crossed the 100,000 mile mark and are starting to develop a slight engine tick or minor oil consumption, adopting these 3 habits now, combined with a ZDDP additive, won't reverse existing wear, but it will effectively slow down further deterioration. This is a cost-effective life extension plan, not a miracle cure. Of course, if your engine is already exhibiting severe knocking, consuming massive amounts of oil, mysteriously losing coolant, or if the check engine light is permanently glowing on your dash, go straight to a reliable independent repair shop for a proper diagnosis. Don't try to limp along relying on additives. What additives do is prevent and mitigate. They cannot repair parts that are already severely damaged. That's all for today. See you next time.